Earlier this year, my friend Logan and I drove over 1,000 miles to pick up an abandoned Datsun 240z. Needless to say, this was a long trip, especially with a U-Haul box truck and trailer, and let me just say, the U-Haul box truck was not the most fun to drive. So we've gone about 200 miles or so. We're a quarter of the way there, I think. We're still in Texas though. Next stop, Arkansas, and then Missouri. Why would it focus, dude? It's literally... Thank you. Okay, so we stopped at a Taco Bell / gas station. It is now about 6 p.m. and we are just outside of Little Rock. So we are, I'd say, halfway there about, maybe a little less than that. So we're gonna keep going, and then we're gonna stay overnight when we get to the hotel there, and then in the morning we are picking up the car. Okay, we have made it here to Missouri, finally, after...
I think it was 10 hours.
Yeah, it was like 10 hours of driving. So, as you can tell, we are both very tired. It is currently 11:35 p.m. and we have to be up very early in the morning. So, we are gonna go to bed and I will check back in with you guys in the morning. Currently 7:23 a.m. and we need to go pick up the car in 20 minutes or so. It's gonna be a very long day.
I've been dragged into this. It's okay.
It's starting to kind of set in that we're about to go buy this car. I'm super excited about it, even though I'm like so tired from yesterday, and I know today is just gonna be even. Yeah, we're both kind of tired, but
Yesterday was the easy part.
yeah, and it was pretty difficult. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun, but we do have about 3 hours of loading the car and all the parts, and then a 8-hour to 10-hour drive back. Probably more along the lines of the 10-hour drive. But I'm looking forward to it. I actually am. I'm really excited to get this car back to Texas. So
it's gonna look so dope.
He's seen the like plans and the renderings for it.
Y'all need to stick around because it's gonna be
cool.
insane.
And we have to do it fast. Just everything about it is gonna be crazy. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and watch the videos. Anyway, let's go get this car. That next morning, Logan and I loaded up into the box truck and drove over to a storage facility. This specific car has been sitting abandoned for over 13 years, and I was terrified of what I had just gotten into and if I had wasted the trip to find out that the car was absolute trash. Luckily for us, it wasn't. This is my new build, a 1973 Datsun 240z. We are here in Poplar Bluff and the car is sitting right here, and it looks kind of rough from afar, but like seeing it in person, I think we're getting a pretty good deal on this, at least a fair deal. So come check this out. So a lot of the body is not rusted. There are a couple little rust spots here and there, like little pinhole areas, but nothing terrible. So we're looking pretty good. There's a lot of spare parts. We got 2 different sets of wheels, like steering wheels. We got 2 different sets of actual wheels. We have 3 different types of differentials, brand new seats, brand new a lot of stuff. The body looks rough, but it's in pretty good shape. So I kind of think we found a pretty good deal here. And again, at least a fair deal. So we're gonna go ahead and move on this. Got a clean title, but it hasn't been registered since I was 3 years old. So it's gonna be an interesting project for sure. But I'm pretty excited about this. So also, that big shelf of parts comes with it, because that's basically the whole car. This is just the shell. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing loaded up and start the trek back to Dallas.
This is a true barn find.
This is a true barn find, except, you know, usually barn finds are like done. Or like running, but yeah, this is pretty good. Now, I'll be the first to admit this car looks pretty rough, but as I look closer, I found out that there's actually not much rust on this body, which is one of the biggest things that you worry about when buying an old Datsun. All of the parts took over 3 hours to load. There are essentially 3 to 4 cars worth of parts that came with the car when I bought it. There were 2.5 sets of wheels, there was a full suspension, 3 alternators, 3 starter motors, and the best part about it is the engine. Now, one of the reasons why I drove all the way to Missouri to buy this car specifically is because of the engine. It doesn't come with a standard Datsun 240z engine. Instead, it comes with a turbo engine out of a Datsun 280ZX. But the only way that it makes this whole trip worth it is if this engine works, which I have no idea if it does.
Give us a little state of the union.
It has been 3 hours. We have the motor loaded and probably about 4 times the amount of parts that goes into a Z car in this trailer now. And we have yet to load the body. Now, this body didn't have any wheels attached to it. It was pretty much just a shell. And even though it is a Datsun and it's pretty light, that doesn't mean it's easy to lift. It took all 3 of us and the winch on the trailer to slowly slide it up onto the trailer, and all through that time we were trying not to damage it any further than it already was.
You get to clean it off.
Now, the reason why I'm buying a Datsun 240z is it has been a dream of mine for a while to have both a 280z and a 240z. I've always wanted one of them to be a stock engine, stock body, and then the other to be a wide body turbo engine, and that's pretty much what this Datsun 240 is. Behind me, you can see I've got my 280Z, which is a stock body and stock engine, so that means this build is going to be a wide body turbo engine. We've already got the turbo engine, now all I have to do is get a wide body and throw it onto the car, and basically one of my dreams of having these 2 cars will be complete once this build is done. That's also a reason why I bought one that is kind of in rough shape. I didn't want to cut a perfect body Datsun. Instead, I wanted to find one that needed some work or that was already kind of in rough shape. That way I don't feel as bad about cutting up a perfect Datsun. Along with this, the car is a completely blank slate. I'm not working with previous mods. I'm not working with some perfect restoration. This is for me to push myself not only in my mechanic ability, but also my creative ability all together in one big build. Another way that I'm going to be pushing myself with this build is my friend Tim over at Iron Horse Classics gave me the idea that I should enter Battle of the Builders at SEMA. Another dream of mine has always been building a car and putting it at SEMA, which I thought was a few years away at least. But when Tim gave me the idea that I could get to SEMA with a car that I built through something called Battle of the Builders, needless to say, I was intrigued. If you don't know what Battle of the Builders is, basically if you built 79% or more of the car, you can actually get into SEMA and compete against other builders who have also built the majority of their car. And there's 2 ways to get into and win Battle of the Builders. One is called the Golden Ticket. Basically how this works is you send in an application that you're not going to SEMA, you want your car to be there, and you built the majority of it yourself. And then basically there's a competition process that if you win, your car gets to go to SEMA, all expenses paid, with you to go present your car to everybody. That is option number 1, and honestly my preferred option. However, I do have a couple of sponsors for this build already when I reached out and telling them my idea, and they said that if I can't do that, they potentially will put me in their booth at SEMA, and that is another way to enter Battle of the Builders. If your car is already at SEMA and in a booth and you have built most of it yourself, you can enter Battle of the Builders that way. As it stands right now, I actually have a spot at a booth with one of my sponsors as long as I can get the car done in time for SEMA. And while the car does have a long ways to go, I have it all planned out and mapped already, so theoretically, it shouldn't take me too long. I think this is a great way for me to push myself to make sure that the car gets done in a reasonable amount of time, and this is going to be the furthest I've ever gone as a builder. So not only will I be building one of my dream cars, I'll also be building it for one of my dream goals and achievements that I've had for 10 or more years at this point. So overall, I'm getting to build one of my dream cars, and I could potentially be going to SEMA with it as long as I get it done in time. We have picked up the car, we got the trailer loaded, and we are now on our way back to Dallas. It is a little nerve-wracking. We just got on the highway, so I'm hoping that everything that we did is secure and good for the whole ride home. But overall, I'm liking the look of the body, I'm liking the look of the car and all the parts. I think I got a pretty good deal all said and done, but this is going to be the biggest project I've ever attempted. This is going to be very, very interesting. We went ahead and pulled over at a rest station, and we got about like 25 miles, I'd say, to check everything, and everything seems to be tight. I am kind of worried about these ratchet straps with how far we're going. We are going about 500 miles back to Dallas, but everything seems to be solid. We have it strapped down with 4 main straps and then 4 supporting straps in some other areas, and then it's not on wheels, it is sitting on like the frame, and so that should add some chassis rigidity and some friction to prevent it from sliding off. So overall, hey, sorry. Anyways, overall, it's looking pretty good. This thing looks crazy. I cannot believe we're actually doing this. It just looks, I can't believe it's here. It's like starting to set in about how insane this actually is. It is currently 9:34 p.m. We have stopped for the, like, I want to say the 3rd time coming back to get gas.
Try 5.
5?
I think it's the 5th time.
And then this is the 5th time we stopped coming back to get gas. I will say I got this and all of the parts for 8 grand. I got the body for 1,000, and I got all of the parts for 8, including the motor. So we're doing pretty good there, and then another 1,500 for like the U-Haul and the trip and everything, and said and done, like hotel and everything. So it's not too bad, but I'm gonna factor that into the cost of the car because I think it is actually a factor. After rewatching that clip, I kind of had some sticker shock on how much I actually have spent so far on this car, but then I kind of remembered why I spent that much money, and most of it comes down to this engine right here. If you know anything about Datsun engines, they can be anywhere between $2,000 to $10,000 to fully rebuild. Since this one had already been rebuilt, basically the way I was seeing it is I could either spend the money to get a fully rebuilt Datsun engine, or I could just buy a car that already had one and get everything I need for the car with it. This is kind of a huge gamble because if this engine is actually rebuilt and it's rebuilt correctly and it works, I got a pretty dang good deal on the whole setup. However, if this engine does not work, if it does not turn over, if it is basically bricked, then I'm in some serious trouble. Now, as of right now, it does rotate. It is not seized, but we won't know if it's got anything really bad with it until we actually go for that first start. But overall, we have about another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to get home. So this is gonna be fun. I'm really excited for this build. It's just like you can't see it because I'm exhausted. There's a few cool things about this car that I want to show you guys. So originally it was a silver car that they repainted to be like a sparkle metallic red. As you can see, like this was kind of the color underneath here was this bronzy silver. And then they just repainted over it with this like metallic red. So we're probably not gonna do a red or silver. I'm not entirely sure on the color. I have some ideas in my head. And then it also had a vinyl top on it, which was added from the dealership, which kind of caused some problems. It has some rust on the roof that we have to deal with. We probably have to replace the entire roof. And then one of the other cool facts, this is a 240. It is a 1973 Datsun 240z, an actual 240. And it is one of the last 7 ever made from the 240 generation. Then they started doing the 260s. So I think that's really, really cool. That not only did we get a 240, but it is like one of the last 240s that was actually made. So cool little fun facts. We have some pretty insane stuff planned with this. We're going to go to the moon, to 1 million with it. We've already got some sponsors locked down, and I'm gonna be self-funding a lot of this as well. So go ahead and subscribe. By now we should have merchandise available for you guys to buy. Every single dollar that we actually earn from that goes directly into the car. I don't put any into my pocket, it goes into the car. So that's a great way to support the channel and to support us building new cars like this, and I appreciate every single one of you, and you get a cool t-shirt out of it. So go check out that link down below so we can build this car into something truly incredible. It's insane. Like, it all just set in for me, dude. Like, seriously. We're gonna have, like, look at that. Now imagine another Datsun next to it, and that's fully built to the most like crazy absolute spec you can imagine. It's all like, it's coming together, dude. But I don't know, again, like I don't know if it's because I'm just so tired and I'm just like freaking out at this point, but like it all just set in that we're actually doing this, and it's a cool thing that we're doing. So it is now 11:56. We have made it back to Dallas. We are going to continue this journey 30 more minutes to Wiley in the morning, because that's where we're gonna be working on the car. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning when I am somewhat well rested. Dude. Like, dude. Oh man. Okay. This is cool. Like, really cool. Okay, it is currently day 3 of picking up this car. We have gone to the garage, grabbed the car. Now we're heading out to Iron Horse Classics, who's actually going to be help supporting this build. While I'll be doing the actual building, they are just going to be providing me with some space, tools, and expertise on what I should do to build this car. Now the challenge is getting it out there, getting all the parts and the car unloaded, and then going and returning the U-Haul on time. So we're rolling, and I'm feeling pretty good today. Okay, so we are here at Iron Horse Classics. We have officially completed the journey. Now we have 3 hours to unload everything, and it took us 5 to load it all. So hopefully gravity helps us a bit, I guess. I don't know. This is gonna be it's gonna be tight if I want to return this truck on time. Let's get to it. Okay, so we've got the entire thing behind me unloaded, and this is everything that was in the truck. It's quite a bit, so we're looking pretty good, I'd say, overall. It's not as many parts as it looked like when it was inside the truck, because they're all kind of laid out. I think if we stack them high, it'll be a lot better. But yeah, now I just gotta return the U-Haul, and then we gotta go over a game plan of the Datsun and what we're gonna do. A lot of these parts might go into the car. We might use some of them for molds to make some like carbon fiber pieces, or some other like leather pieces for the interior, or we might just end up selling a lot of these parts. So if you guys need Datsun parts, it's specifically 240, 280, and 280ZX parts, you might want to check with me first, because I probably have what you need at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. Huge shout out to Iron Horse for helping with this build. And if you guys want to support this build, these are the new shirts. I got mine in last night. I think they look pretty cool. You got the Datsun art on the back for the guys that you really like the 280Z, and then on the back, in the front, we have the 1978 Living Like Gray logo. So be sure to go check that out. It's a pretty cool shirt. It's very comfortable, very nice material. It's a Bella canvas shirt. So be sure to go check out that if you want one. And the cool thing is, every single dollar goes to directly supporting this car and the other 280Z. So if you guys want to support these builds, that and subscribing is the best way to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video where we actually start tearing this car apart to build it. See you guys. Bye. The light store right next to us. Dude, that was ridiculous. Gets in at 11:30 p.m. and it is daytime. The entire store was like the sun, dude.